Hi, everybody. This is Karen Palmer, and I am your host of Living on Purpose TV. And this is the place where you're going to get all the strategies, all the ideas, and all the inspiration that you can get in 20 minutes. We're going to give you so much valuable content. So we're encouraging you to please get your notebook out and please take some notes and make this a very important time for yourself where you're completely and fully present in this moment. And really encourage yourself to listen to these amazing guests that I have that are going to truly show you how to be the master of your own life and how to really live with more purpose and passion every single day. So my first guest is my dear friend Rhoda Jordan Shapiro, and she is one of the most incredible women who empowers other women and gives them the tools and the strategies to live their bigger purpose. So she is very much involved in letting people live their big mission so that she can help them to understand and make it a true reality. She helps everyone who has a dream. She's made such an amazing difference in my life, and she says that every single person has a purpose and an amazing contribution to give, and she helps people to figure that out and bring that out into the world in a bigger way. So what an honor, what a blessing to be able to bring her to you and to have her share with you a little hello.
Hey,
Hi,
everybody. Thank you so much for that great welcome.
Oh, Rhoda, you've been such an inspiration to me, and all of your kindness and your wisdom and your power, your feminine power that you exude is so refreshing, and it's so necessary in our world right now. We women and men all need to step into our true essence and our true
Yes.
power. And so I'd love to hear about a situation or something that was a stumbling block that you were able to turn into a stepping stone.
Okay, well, for me, a huge stumbling block is actually something that happened to me about a year ago. It's actually very strange because it's almost exactly a year ago. It's was a year ago yesterday.
Wow.
And yeah, so it was very bizarre. I actually just realized that I was thinking about it yesterday and thinking about coming on your show and sharing, and I was like, wow, I almost got chills thinking about it. So last year, last September, like the most devastating thing happened, and I had experienced a miscarriage, and it was just really, out of nowhere, and it was sad for me, it was sad for my husband, it was sad for our toddler who had just turned 2, and it was just one of those things that just completely blindsided us, and that we weren't expecting, and we had been planning to move, and we had just made all these plans. I was 3 months pregnant, and we had all these new things going on, and then all of a sudden that happened, and it was just so sad and surreal. And at first, you start. I mean, you go through something like that in the beginning. It's kind of like you're in that place where you're like, oh my gosh, how am I ever gonna not feel this way? How am I ever going to not feel this sadness? How am I going to get through this? Will I ever get through this? It was one of those things. And the crazy thing was that I was actually able to take this experience and make something very beautiful out of it. And so I wanted to share that with your listeners, regardless, whatever it is you're going through, right? So it could be some kind of event, some kind of situation that's happened to you in your life that has brought you sadness, has brought you devastation, or it could simply just be, just those negative feelings, of sadness, of anger, of depression, those times when you're kind of knocked a little bit off your path and kind of just knocked off your purpose, and you feel like you just can't get up again.
Right.
I wanted to share 3 tools that were really beneficial for me, to really, get me, healed and focused again, and back on my purpose, back on my mission in life. And I don't know what I would have done without these tools, seriously. So I'm really excited to share.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome. Can I just say something to you? I just
yeah.
I'd just like to share. I'd just like to share something with you. I had a miscarriage when my daughter was 3 years old, and this is all. We didn't plan this. We're talking from our hearts right now. People who are listening, this is. She's never told me this, and I've never told her this. But I had a miscarriage when I was. My daughter was 3 years old. My daughter's 18 now. And it was so devastating at the time. I totally understand exactly what you're saying, but it was like the universe knew that we weren't ready for that to happen, because right after I had the miscarriage, my father-in-law passed on, and my mother-in-law was really, really sick, and we
Oh.
had to move in to take care of her.
Oh,
So I couldn't have possibly have done that
oh my gosh.
if we
Mm,
had had another baby. So
yeah.
you start to realize when some devastating thing happens, we have to start to trust that there's something bigger going on than what we can see at that moment. So it's so refreshing and so kind of you to be so generous to share such a very emotional experience, and to show that as a way that you grew, because I felt the same way. I grew so much. I thought I could never ever get over that
Mm,
experience. I thought and I thought it was going to put my husband and I, really distanced us at first.
mm,
But then I realized I was the distant one. And if I just would be honest about what I was feeling, then I could really let him in. And that was a big part of making our relationship be so much more um, intimate. We were more intimate. We
mm.
really, really connected on a deeper level after that. So, it's interesting how that's why a big part of why I wanted to do this show is because we all get knocked down and different situations come up, but it's so important that we keep getting up. And
Yes.
and now, and aren't you expecting your next?
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
8 months pregnant right now. I have a few more
Precious.
weeks to go.
Precious, precious. So I'm going to let you get back to your amazing steps that you want to share. I just wanted to share that because it was just amazing to me that that was what you were sharing. And then as I was listening, I was feeling a confirmation from Spirit saying, you see, nothing is by coincidence. There's a
Yes.
reason why you wanted to share that. And I'm sure that somebody who's listening right now is going to be so touched by your honesty and your sincerity. So bless you and thank
Oh,
you,
thank
and
you.
bless your new little angel who's coming through you, and
Thank
and
you.
and your beautiful, beautiful little boy that you have, and your amazing husband and the family you've created. What an amazing contribution your family is to our world. So thank you.
Oh, that is so nice of you. Thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot to me because um, I was called to share that, and I haven't shared it before. Like I haven't written about it. I obviously family friends, but I haven't really shared it. I haven't put it out there, so I was a little hesitant to, but something was really calling me to, and I know that I gained so much wisdom from it, and I was like, I want to share it because I really want to give this wisdom, to other people, and say,
Thank you.
hey, this is where I've been, and
Thank you.
um, yes. So, and thank you for sharing your story with me too. I really, really appreciate that. Um, okay, so I want to start out with my one tip. Um, just for, for moving through, for getting back up again, and for really just giving yourself that opportunity to just come back to yourself and to really come alive again and be present. For me, the first thing was not to deny what I was feeling. Okay, so my first tip would be, if something happens, if you're going through an experience, anything negative, an emotion that you really, really want to get through right away, I know that a lot of the time our reaction is to just kind of move away from it and say, you know what, I got things going on in my life, so I'm going to deal with this later. But I just want to tell you that when we do that kind of thing, we are actually prolonging, okay, its presence in our lives. Okay, so by actually choosing to just say, okay, I'm not going to look at it, I'm going to put it over here, is not, it's not making it disappear. It's still going to be there. It's still going to be in your body. You're still going to be living with it. So, and I find that creating that blockage in yourself, it's going to cause you so many other problems later on in your life, and you're just going to have blockage after blockage, building on top and just keeping you from, from your purpose, from being your happy, abundant self. And I'm a strong believer in just embracing these emotions head on, no matter how dark, how shadow-like, how negative they may be. And so for me, like going through this devastating situation, I just fully allowed myself to just be and feel what I was feeling, to not try to hide it, to not try to deny it, to not run away from it, but to really give myself that time to just really take it into my body and really look at it and really confront it and deal with it and express it, with friends, with my husband, with my family, and not to be afraid of it. And there's something funny that happens. I feel like when you do that, it's kind of empowering, to step up to a big dark emotion like that, and it's kind of scary, but you will always come through, to the other end. You always will, as long as you have that courage to really face it and embrace
it. Totally empowering. Totally empowering.
Yeah. So that was really, without that, I would not have been able to have gotten through, and just allowing myself to be who I was and cry when I needed to and express what I needed to was really liberating. So that is my first tip. And my second tip is it's all about really trusting yourself and plugging into your creative energy. Okay, I find that plugging into creative energy is very useful for just getting back on track. And you have to remember, like, all of us here on this planet, all of us are creative beings. Okay, we're all creative in different ways, and it looks so different for all of us. Painting or writing or even cooking a meal is creative. Decorating our house, scrapbooking, whatever it is. Okay, so all of us have different gifts to bring to the table. And I think sometimes in life it's so easy to lose sight of that. And it's so easy to just kind of get lost, in the everydayness. And just like, okay, I got my to-do list right here. I got all these things I got to accomplish. We kind of get burnt out, we kind of lose that connection to our creative source and our creative power and energy. Mm-hmm. And for me, I really found that, especially going through something that was so heartbreaking, that plugging into my creative energy again just revitalized me and brought me back. Because, well, for me directly, there was a sense of losing the opportunity to create. You know what I mean? It was like that was taken from me. Right. This being that I was creating, it was like ripped away from me. And so I just naturally was like, yes, I just started creating a lot. And I have to tell you, with everything in my life, with my relationship, like you were saying, your relationship with your husband, it got deeper, we got closer. And also my business, my business was more successful after my miscarriage than it had been before. And that was just because I was just so driven to create, to write, and
You
express
tapped into
myself.
that creative energy, just like you talked about.
Yeah,
You tapped into it.
yeah.
You were able to express it, and that's what a blessing.
Yeah, it was great. And the thing about it is because sometimes I tend to like not want to create because I think, oh my gosh, it's not gonna be perfect. I have to think this through before I do anything so it's perfect, that whole voice. But in this case, I was just like, who cares? I'm just going to create. I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care how messy it looks. I don't care how sloppy, whatever. I'm just going to put it all out there. And when you can do that, when you can just flow, with that energy,
Yeah.
there's just something so dynamic about, what you're putting out there and what you're creating, I found. So I actually created like a lot of stuff, like poetry. I started painting, and I had never
Yeah.
really painted before, which was
Yeah.
crazy. I took like a painting class. I created one of my programs that has been my most popular program in my business, my most popular course. Just so much, and it was just so fulfilling to do that, and it was just so healing for me. So, I strongly suggest, like, whatever you can do is just always, always listen to that creative energy and that creative spark inside of you. And don't lose sight of that, as hard as it may be. Like, even if you only have 10 minutes a day to create, it's better than nothing. It's better than 0 minutes. So whatever that means for you, music, cooking, art, whatever it is, make the time to do it because it's so important.
Yeah, that's the thing. Divine love wants to express itself through us. And
Yes.
that's what that is that creative energy is tapping into that essence of true, pure love and bringing it out into the world, just like you said, in art, in music, in poetry, in a broadcast, in a podcast, there's so many ways that we can creatively express ourselves, and there's just so much out there that helps us to connect with one another. I mean, it's just wonderful. It just makes us realize that trusting in that incredible power that's inside of all of us will totally transform the world. So let's hear what your last
Yes.
tidbit was, because I know you got
All
you
right.
got a little toddler that's waiting for you, probably pulling on your leg right now.
Okay, so my
We can
last
see
tip.
him. He can pop his head in if he wants.
Oh,
That'd
trust me,
be
you'll
fun.
hear him. You'll hear him if he bursts through the doors. He might
Oh,
any second.
awesome. Oh, I'd love that.
Okay, so my last tip is very important. I mean, they're all very important, but this one I really feel very strongly. Okay, if you do one thing, okay, let it be this. Okay, so my last tip is to really take the time to demonstrate self-love and self-care, and to really be gentle with yourself. Okay. Um, I know sometimes like that might seem like an obvious thing, but honestly, I can't tell you how many people are like, oh yeah, obviously, but they're not doing it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we don't get taught. That's what I've been trying to bring to the
No,
schools, Rhoda. That's what that it doesn't. There's no curriculum for it, and that's
there's
what I've been.
nothing.
Yeah, there's nobody
That's the
teaches you
thing.
how.
That's like one of the most essential, like you need that foundation.
For
If you
everything.
don't have that,
Yeah,
ugh, everything's going to be so much more difficult in your life. Trust
right.
me, if you don't have that foundation of really listening to yourself and kind of honoring what you need in your life, it's just going to be so hard to really navigate and to get through things and to pick yourself up again and to stay on your purpose. So,
What would you suggest? What would you suggest would be a good step for somebody who says, "Oh yeah, I do need that, but I don't know how."
well, for me, I like to have a little morning ritual. That's
Yes.
my thing. So I tell everybody, don't get intimidated by the sound of the word ritual. It's not, you don't have to do this for an hour a day or anything.
Hmm.
It could just be as easy as doing something for a minute a day or 5 minutes. Whatever
Hmm.
feels good to you.
Right.
But I like to just take a moment after I wake up to just be still and just to tune into my wisdom.
Yeah.
and, you know, just to really create that silence within myself so that I can find myself before I start my day. And then I like, it's always different for me. Like I like to mix it up, but a big, you know, thing that I like to do is just real simple, you know, like the hug of wrapping your arms around yourself at the beginning of the day, just to tune in and like show your love for yourself and breathe and give yourself that time. You know, too often we're scared of stillness and we don't really make the time for it. So I feel like that is so important. It's such a great way to start your day. And it's such a tiny thing, but really it has a huge impact on everything in your day.
I
Um,
agree.
you know, the
I
way you
totally,
started.
yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. So I know that we're gonna get to. I want to just recap the amazing, beautiful steps that Rhoda has shared with us. So the first one that she said is that we got to allow ourselves to really embrace our emotions. So to bring those emotions, no matter how painful, no matter what's going on in our lives, and joyful too, you know, allow ourselves to really feel what we're feeling and bring that so that we can truly express ourselves in the world in a bigger way. And then the second thing that she was saying is to trust yourself. Trust in the wisdom that is being given to you through your creative juices. Allow those creative juices to flow and to be able to be plugging into that creative juice so that you're plugged in and you start to really bring that your creativity and into all, like she said, even when you're cooking a beautiful dinner and when you're taking the time to really tune in to that inner wisdom and trusting in that creative energy that's giving you all your ideas, you know, and let those ideas kind of flow and take out your journal and write these things down and everything that you're listening to right now, know that it's been divinely guided to you to hear it right here in this moment. Just trust that. Trust that you've been divinely guided to be hearing this in this moment, because I feel truly that I've been divinely guided to be able to have Rhoda on the show sharing this. And I truly feel that what she is giving is absolutely so valuable. And the third thing, make sure that you give yourself self-love, self-care, self-appreciation. Hug yourself. Oh, it feels so good to hug yourself sometimes, you know, and I'm going to do that every morning, first thing in the morning. Because I meditate. I'm a yoga instructor, so I do my yoga, and I do all of that for my own kind of sanity, just to keep my saneness, you know, just to be able to go through the day and be able to get from, you know, point A to point B. But you know, to make myself, you know, it's been a struggle for me to with self-love. You know, it was a struggle for me to make myself important. And that's a big part of why I decided to do this show, because I know that this is something that is a pain for many of my girlfriends, and many of the people in my family have shared with me that they want more purpose and more passion in their life. And so Rhoda, if people wanted to get in touch with you and they wanted to go a little deeper, are there programs that you offer, or is there any way that they can sign up for your letters, your blogs, do you have subscriptions? How does
Yeah,
that work?
I have, you can go to my website, rhodajordan.com, and sign up, and you'll get a free meditation course,
Oh, I
which
love
takes
that.
you, yeah, it's really great too. It takes you through all seven of the chakras, and you really get like it. We get in depth on each one. So there's that if you want to try the meditation course, and I also do spiritual mentorships where I mentor people on just any number of things, challenges, or if they just want to deepen their spiritual practice, whatever it is. So you can find information on that on my site too.
That's awesome. That is so wonderful. And you know, just so that people understand, I've been through Rhoda's program, and she has helped me when I was struggling. My daughter was going off to college, and if you have only one child and you have your whole life, it feels like, is being pulled out of you and being pulled away from you. And Rhoda gave me a beautiful meditation that was that connected me to my daughter's heart, so that I could actually, because at the time we were struggling with communication, because she was trying to pull in, and not in a bad way. She was trying to be independent, and I was trying to make her a 5-year-old. I really wanted her to be 5 again. I just wanted her so badly. I just wanted to go back. I just wanted to go back to kindergarten, and I was like, you know, and I was like very, very controlling, and it was amazing because Rhoda gave this beautiful meditation. It was part of her program that I was in for her creating abundance, and so many abundant things happened because of that program for me. But the most important, the very most important, and I want you to know this, Rhoda, is my daughter and I healed our relationship in a way that I hoped for. I didn't have that kind of relationship with my mom, so I didn't know how to create it. I didn't have a blueprint. I just started to be controlling and tried to make things, you know, her into a 5-year-old again. And you know, she of course resented that and pulled away further and further. And when I was able to start doing that meditation and connecting my heart with her heart, you know, energetically, it brought us so much closer, and it really healed a lot of the distance that was happening physically, so that I could be okay with the distance, and knowing that she was going to be knowing that she was going to be safe, and that she was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that just meant so much to me.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it just
oh, that must be hard. I can't imagine going through that. I know I'll have to down the line.
It was, you know, I actually, you know, I found that it really, really changed me. It really helped me grow, and actually is a big part of why I'm doing this show, because my daughter Marissa said to me, you know, Mom, like, you live your life with so much purpose and passion, and how can you try to not let me follow my dream? How could you not want me to follow? You've taught me this my whole life, so how can you not let me go? And it really helped me to realize how important it is to allow people to have wings. And you know, seeing her wings and watching her, she just got 100% on her final. She just did on her retail final, and she, you know, she was so excited and so happy, and she's just thrilled living in Los Angeles. She's just loving her whole, you know, her whole existence is so happy. And it's like, since she was 12 years old, she's dreamt of going to this school, and she put it on a vision board. Yeah, she put it on a vision board, and she's made it, you know, she's made it her reality. So, you know, it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, it's so important that each one of us learn these techniques, learn these tips, because the people who are paying attention right now, listening, and we're going over, but I'm just so happy to have this time with you, Rhoda.
I know, me too.
It's just such a blessing to be able to share with you what a difference you made in my life, and how much I know you're going to make a difference in all of my virtual family community. You know, and that's why I'm so excited to introduce you and introduce.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah, and then we'll all connect. You know, all our communities will connect, and we're going to create this Living on Purpose community that's going to be so incredible, and we're going to be so supportive of each other. And there's no competition, only collaboration. No competition, only collaboration. So
I'm so excited.
So everyone, hold that vision with us.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for having me on the show too. And I just know that, you know, you're sharing your light and your vision and your purpose with us is just so inspiring. I just know that it's going to continue to change lives. And everybody, everybody that you meet and everybody that you draw to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk today and for sharing so beautifully and openly about how we can live more purposefully and how you've done it. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful evening and have lots of fun with your family.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, and we'll connect again real soon.
Okay, we will.
Thank you. Have a
Okay,
great night.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.